Welcome. Welcome to the Fold Mysteries, where we seek to discover everything that lies between the folds of reality. Chad,
Mhm.
any amazing breaking news on your end?
No, I'm just excited that everything is finalized for the conference. I've been busy
Yes.
working, and yeah, so we get to work on that, and that'll be fun.
Yeah. Yeah, so we got approval. So we're working with a lot of people locally to make this happen and be not just a local success, but bring a lot of activity to the town. And we're planning on having it be big, bold, and different, very unique.
In the town, we were just there. This will be our third annual, but this one will be big. That's really going to get promoted. The first one uh, was a searching for Sasquatch documentary after.
Yes. Yep. And we still plan on, promoting Searching for Sasquatch. It's really, really cool documentary series. Definitely want to check that out. But if you are interested in being a vendor, then definitely reach out to us on the foldmysteries@gmail.com or through our Facebook Messenger. You can even contact me or Chad on Messenger on Facebook. Uh, the event is called The Fold Mysteries Presents Irons Michigan Bigfoot Conference. So it's a long name, but it's very cool. So I'm really excited about it. Um, my only news is that my dogs had surgery today. So really stressful time all day today. It's going to be a stressful night trying to make sure that, Vega doesn't get to her incisions and stuff like that. So long recovery, 2 weeks, no solid foods, all that good jazz. So, yeah, but it was worth it. I'm sure she'll feel better when she heals.
I saw the photo of you and your grandbaby. He's getting
Yeah.
big.
Oh, I should have uploaded that. People should go on my Facebook page, my personal one. Check that out because my little grandson Jasper is to die for. He's got the biggest, beautiful eyes ever. Um, but all that aside, I am really excited to announce our guest for this week. She's got some really amazing topics to cover, amazing, amazing, amazing photos. So I'm really excited for her to cover those. Welcome, Chelly Heaton.
Hi.
Really excited to have you join in here. Let me get your picture bigger there. So, Chelly Heaton started having dreams of Sasquatch when she was just 5 years old. She is sensitive to energy and spirits and has been conducting mediumship since she was 15 years old. Michelle is also a Reiki master and uses her gifts to help terminally ill people cross over. About 2 years ago, Michelle began seeking Bigfoot after moving to Sweet Home and learning about the trail system. Michelle finds her work to be a duty and never, ever charges for the work that she does. You can find her on Facebook at Sweet Home Oregon Sasquatch Research Group. Very cool. So you are just a veritable person, like of all these gifts and talents and hobbies. So
I
you have a lot
know.
going on.
So much. I know.
Yeah.
Yep.
It makes me wonder, when do you find time to research Bigfoot? It's
I
like you got a
know.
lot on your
Well,
plate.
luckily, I'm a stay-at-home mom, so I had the time to do that. And then it's really cool too because I have a 10-year-old daughter and I homeschool her. And so we can go out into the woods whenever we want and I teach her about foraging and the wilderness and animals and everything that we can learn about it. So
I think that's great because
mhm.
like foraging and being able to live off the environment is a skill that's getting lost.
It
So
is.
I'm happy to hear that that's something that you're passing on to your children because I think that more people need to learn how to do that for sure.
Absolutely. I agree 100%. Yep.
Yeah. So you started having dreams about Bigfoot when you were only 5, right?
Yeah, I was 5 years old. Yeah.
So what what did these dreams kind of entail? Like what were some of them? Are they repetitive dreams or were
Mhm.
they different every time? And what kind of was going on?
Yeah, so I don't know how they started because we weren't really a family that talked about Bigfoot. It wasn't, I mean, we lived in the lower peninsula in Michigan and mostly farm area. So, it wasn't something that we ever talked about. But I remember it was all, I've only had, they were two dreams and they were, so I had one set of, let me just, okay, back up. My first dream was I was standing in a house and everything was really old. I could see there's oil lamps and I'm looking around. There's like a screen door. It's a wooden screen door with springs on it. There's no light fixtures, no TV, anything like that. So it's just a really old house. And I would be looking towards the front of the house or towards the front, like a living room area. And there's a big picture window right next to it's the front screen door. And there's a big porch, like just a big porch where you would sit and, look out at your farm. And so I'd be looking out towards the door and this Sasquatch would come up on the porch and he'd open up the door real slow. He wasn't aggressive or anything. He'd open up the door and he'd have to kind of duck down to get under that, the top of the door. And he'd come up to me and it would just freak me out right away. I was like, monster,
Yeah.
So I'd turn around and I'd run out the back door. And I remember when I was running out the back door, I would look to the right and I had to run through the kitchen and I would see a sink, but it had like a hand pump water thing in it. You know what I'm talking about?
Mhm.
Like
yeah.
running water. Yeah.
Like outside pumps.
Yeah, exactly. But only in the sink. So
wow.
Yeah. So I hit the back door and the back door is the same as the front. It's a wooden screen door with springs on it and stuff. And I'd run down the steps into like the backfield. And the backfield was kind of like, it was barley or wheat or something. It was really short. It wasn't tall, like corn would be or something, because I could see over the top of it. And I was a little girl. I knew that I was a little girl. And I'd be running through the field. And every time I would turn around to look behind me, he would be walking behind me. But not aggressively, but it was still scary. It scared the crap out of me. So I had that dream from the time I was 5. And the reason why I remember I was 5 was because I don't know how old you are, Chad, but you're from Michigan. Did you hear about the snowstorm that we had in 1978? It was a really big one. We got like 8 feet of snow, right?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was bad. So anyways, it was that year because we got snowed into our house. And I remember having a dream while we were snowed in. So anyways, I would have that dream like 2, 3, 4 times a week. Sometimes I'd just have it once a month and sometimes just a couple times a year. Really depended. Yeah, it was really strange. I didn't realize.
The same dream?
Yep, it was the same thing every time. Every time it was the same thing. So fast forward to when I was 19 and I had a dream and I was just really stressed out and already just in life. And I had the dream and it broke me. And I remember coming downstairs and I was crying and I told my mom about it. So my mom called my aunt and my aunt is sensitive. She decided that she was going to take me to one of her friends who is a psychic. And so we went together and we talked about it. And she said, well, you need to just ask him politely to please stop scaring you. So I did. Not that night, but the night after, I had another dream. And when I saw him come in the front door, I asked him to come towards me and he kind of bent down and kind of got in my face. And I said, please stop scaring me. I'm frightened. Please stop. And so I can't remember how the dream ended. It ended. And so maybe, I don't know, maybe a week or 2 later, I had another dream and that started the second sequence of the dream. So the second sequence, the second dream.
I want to hear about the second portion, but I do want to ask you a question. When you were 5, did your parents ever watch shows about Bigfoot? I guess, I mean, it was the 70s, I guess. Did they ever did you know what Bigfoot was? Did you have any concept of Bigfoot?
Not that I could remember. I
Well,
really don't. Yeah, I don't remember. I mean, my mom, she liked to watch scary movies, but at that time it was like we had to go to the drive-in theater if we wanted to see a movie.
Right.
On TV, all I watched was like Mr. Rogers, and I remember watching that guy that paints, Bob, what's his name?
Oh,
You know him?
yes,
Yeah,
Chad, you know his name.
the
Painter.
Yeah, but I can't. No, you know what? It'll
Yeah.
pop in
Chad,
my head
help
in a
us
minute.
out. Chad,
It'll
I
pop-
don't remember, but
It'll pop in my head.
Yeah. And I watched a lot of Sesame Street. I don't know if Sesame Street triggered it. I don't know.
So
Some of the-
you didn't know what he was then. You just considered it like a monster.
Yeah, it was a monster to me. It was a monster until I was probably maybe in my early teens, I guess, when I realized that it was a Bigfoot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It didn't have a name. It didn't have a name.
Okay. But
Bob Ross.
We wanted to say Bob Ross, that's what it was.
Bob Ross, that's right. Yeah.
Well, you know, Chelly, there was a couple other things that would come on maybe your parents watched when you were young. I know I've seen it. I think we're fairly close. This would be in the early to mid 70s, In Search of with Leonard Nimoy. But then there was also a TV show called The $6 Million Man, which there weren't many TV shows, and there was a couple episodes with Bigfoot in that.
That's right. I remember watching that show. I don't know if I saw the Bigfoot, but I do remember the $6 Million Man. Yeah.
Nice. But you called it a monster. So
yeah, I thought it was a monster.
Either way, you didn't put 2 and 2 together with the Bigfoot, the creature, and your dreams at that point.
Yep, exactly. Yeah.
So what's the second portion of the dream? Because now I'm curious.
Yeah. So the second portion of the dream was after I asked him to be nice to me and quit scaring me. I had the dream again, and he would stay outside, and there was like this big, like oak tree. It had a really big trunk on it. And he would stay behind that tree, kind of squatted down, and just peek around it and just watch me. And it was always like that. It never changed. I would just stand at the picture window and watch, and he would watch me back, you know?
Wow.
Yeah. So he was really nice
he
after
kept
that.
his distance. So it was like he picked up on that when you said that, and then started keeping his distance.
Yep, exactly. Exactly. And I was amazed. Wow. I thought, this is never going to work. It's never going to happen. I'm going to have these dreams forever, and it's going to suck.
I do want to fast forward to like future you. Did you ever figure out why, like what the connection was, or what your theory is why you were dreaming about Bigfoot? Maybe it had to do with your sensitivity, your connection to those sensitivities.
Yeah, so I asked him after I got into Sweet Home and I started researching Sasquatch, then there was, earlier this summer, actually, I started having experiences where I was seeing him in a metaphysical way. It was really strange. But one time I saw him, and it was like I was driving down the trail, and I had a couple of girls with me, and we're just, looking for Bigfoot. And we come around this curve, and I saw him, and it was like he just went whoop, and he was there. And then just as quick as I realized that he had fingers and toes and everything and hair, it went whoop and it disappeared. And when it went back down to disappear, it kind of sparkled, and I don't know, it was so weird. It kind of just poof, it was gone. And so on the way home, I went and dropped off the ladies. And then on the way home, I'm like, who are you? And then I got this push in my head. It was like not my own thought, but it wasn't in words. And it was just like, I'm the one who's been protecting you your whole life. I've been with you. I feel like I'm going to cry. I'm sorry. Yeah, he said that was him.
That's awesome.
I can't
So you
hear
were the only one to see that, or what? Did everybody see that?
Yes, I was the only one. Oh
Wow.
man, I couldn't believe it because I stopped the car and I was like, Tammy, did you see that? Like, did you guys see this? And they're like, no.
Wow.
And I was like, why not? You know, like why only me? Why did I only see him? But this
well, if
was
he
the
was there to
second.
protect you, then the message was only for you, right?
That's what I'm coming to terms with now. It was
maybe you were meant to stop there, because if you didn't, you would have ended up in a bad situation, because you know how, you know, all it takes is seconds to be in a bad accident if you're second.
And it's funny that you would say that, Chad, because it was on a ledge too. It was around the ledge of the mountain. So we were probably about 3,000 feet. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
That blows my mind. That's kind of scary.
Yeah. But he protected you. So like, yeah, he did what he was meant to do. Did you ever ask him why? Or is that something you're still wondering? Why you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is something that I'm still wondering, because I'm still trying to connect with them, you know, on that level, I guess, that telepathy level. And it's been kind of hard for me, but I'm contacting people who can try and help me out with that, because I really do want to continue this, obviously, this communication with him. You know, it's happened for a reason.
And I see gifts and abilities as kind of like a muscle. You know, you have to keep working it to get better and better and better. Some people have a gift to where they don't have to work it and it just keeps hitting them.
Yeah.
But to really find the connection that you want without that surprise, like it just, you know, to work it the way you want, you have to practice. But to get just stuff randomly, I feel like that's just going to happen if you have those abilities.
Absolutely. I can never ever control it. It just comes and goes when it wants to, and it does what it wants to do. So,
yeah.
Gwendolyn and I have a friend we can introduce you to that could be a great help to you.
That would be wonderful. I would love that. Yep.
Yeah, she's pretty awesome. Absolutely.
Awesome.
So your mediumship, you started doing that when you were just 15.
Yeah, it's 15.
So that's pretty young. So tell us about that. Like, do you see them or do you hear them? Like, some people experience it differently.
Yeah. So it only happens when I'm sleeping, and usually it's during a nap. So like I'm taking a 2-hour nap and then it happens, you know. I'm still trying to make it happen, but it never happens when I want it to, ever. Yeah, but it started with one of my really good friends. She passed away when I was 14 and she was 15 when she passed away. And that was the first time that it happened to me. So, and it's just been happening ever since.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. Not very, I'm sorry. Most of the time it happens like just with people I know. Occasionally it'll happen for other people. Like take, for instance, if I have a friend and their sister passes away or something, that happened recently. I got a message from her, so I had to, you know, let him know. But yeah.
Wow. I'm kind of curious because I know you get into like ghost investigating, and there are a lot of like pay to play places. That's what I call them, pay to play. So you go and you rent out the place for the night. And sometimes, you know, if you can find the right ones, you can get a couple nights at a decent price. And I like to go to those places just because it's verified haunted, and I like to test equipment at places like that. Have you ever tried to go somewhere like that and do an overnight and sleep and see if maybe something comes to you then?
I don't know if it's pay to play, but I stay in haunted hotels a lot. Okay. Just because I want to. Yeah. I don't care. Everybody else will stay at Motel 6 or something, and I'm staying in the haunted hotel, you know, because I feel comfortable there. I like it, you know.
And do you ever get dreams about the ghost there?
No, not
Wow.
yet. I know.
Yeah.
I would love
But
to, though. There's a place up in Oregon. It's called the Wolf Creek Inn, and people like Cary Grant and all these famous actors used to go there because it was so remote. So I like to stay there a lot, but I still
yeah,
haven't. I've gotten some crazy pictures from there, but I haven't gotten any communication.
I've been like, I'm with it with you, the same as you, as in like it just happens whenever it wants.
Hmm.
And I remember when I stayed over at my dad's house, and he lives in a haunted house, but he says like nothing ever really happens, maybe a couple things here and there. My first night staying there, I dreamed I was her in the dream, and I was there when she got murdered. Like I was experiencing it from her perspective.
Oh, that's
It was
terrible.
like it was horrifying, but it was like one of those things where you're like, well, I wish I could shut it off when I want it off, and I wish I could turn it on when I want it turned on, because I
Yeah,
had my kids there with me, and I didn't feel comfortable in the house after that. And
Mhm.
right.
I try to keep my kids away from it the best I can, even though I've lived with it my whole life. But I didn't know this spirit. Like I didn't know why she made me experience all that, or maybe I was picking up on the energy of the place and reliving her tragedy.
Yeah,
Hard to
totally. I
tell.
mean, if it's
Mhm.
residual, then you can get kind of stuck in it, I guess, especially when you're sleeping because you're at your most vulnerable. And plus, when you're sleeping, you're tapping into other parts of your mind that you wouldn't use normally while you're
That's
awake.
true.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So that is definite. That might have been what was happening.
right. But you are sensitive other than that. Like you can feel energies and stuff when you do go into haunted places, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
totally. Yeah. I get messed
I
with a
I
lot.
figured.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually get touched a lot, and I like it. It's really cool. I can feel it.
Yeah,
I
with
can
you being
relate with you.
sensitive,
Can you?
yeah, and Chad,
Yeah.
he's sensitive as well. When you're sensitive, you act like a beacon. Like you are
Yeah.
a light in the darkness. So you naturally attract
Yeah.
ghosts and spirits and things like that too. And they're like, "Oh, what is that pretty shiny thing over here in all this darkness?" So they want to come to you and
Hmm.
experience what you are, or even maybe try to communicate or seek help, or who knows.
Absolutely. And I always make sure to tell them too. And like I tell Bigfoot, I'm gentle and I'm kind and I am not, if you want to play with me, then come play with me, touch me, whatever. Just be nice, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I believe Bigfoot's on a different spectrum. You don't even really have to tell them. I believe they know intention
Yeah.
without you having to.
I'm starting to believe that. I believe that now too. I've experienced it. So, you know,
Yeah, and you've done a lot of work with your Bigfoot research. I mean, you have a Facebook page, but you also you've experienced a lot while you're out there in the field.
no kidding. I know it's like as soon as I got out there and after I learned the trails, then I knew I was comfortable and I was able to just go wherever I wanted to, whenever I wanted to. So I can go really deep into the wilderness and still know where I'm at. And then all these things started happening and I was like, wow, this is crazy. It's so cool. Oh man, one time I'll tell you this story. It's a
Yeah.
really good story. So I had been up at our main camp, and our main camp is at about 3,500 feet up that mountain I was telling you about. And so nothing was going on. And I had my fellow researcher, Eric, up there with me and his fiance. And I was like, this is kind of boring. So I'm really close to home. So I'm just going to get in the car and go home. And I remember I got in the car and I was kind of cruising down the hill, because I knew nobody was on the road. It was safe. I was like, I just want to see how fast I can get down here. And I got down to the main road and I was almost home and I come around this bend where there's a really popular campground. And just as I come around the bend in the road, I see in front of me like two sets. They looked like at first they looked like reflectors. So there was a set of them up here on the passenger side, so it'd be on the right, and then on the left, on the like really close to the road, like this. It was this close to the road. I saw another set of reflectors. And I was like, what the heck? So I slowed way down and I came to a rolling stop and I was looking at him and I was like, who would be in the woods in the middle of the night, or not in the middle of the night, it was about 10:30 at night, with steampunk glasses on? Because that's what it looked like. It looked like somebody was wearing steampunk glasses, you know? And so I was like, okay, so I'm getting closer. I'm thinking, are they reflectors? What are they? I'm getting closer and closer and closer. Mind you, I was about 50 feet away from them. And then I got really, really close and I realized those are eyes.
Wow.
And they were like the size of a large egg, each eye. And they were about this far apart, but they were emitting a red glow. Like they weren't, it wasn't eye shine, it was a red glow. And I was like,
Oh, wow.
what the heck is that? Like, what is that? So this one behind the tree on the right kept looking behind, and then she'd look at me and she'd look at the one across the road, and then she'd look at me and she'd look behind her again, like somebody was behind her. And then I'd look over to the one on the left, or on the left, and his head was really close to the road, like this, like his chin was right on the side of the road. And he looked at me and he locked eyes with me and he didn't take them off. He kept his eyes on me the whole time. And I never felt uncomfortable or anything. It didn't make me feel weird. I was just really inquisitive. Like, what is that? You know?
Yeah.
And so I don't know how long I stayed there. 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. And then I started rolling up and I got closer and closer to him. And then, I forgot to tell you, when I first saw him, I shut my bright lights off because I didn't want to blind him, whatever it was. I didn't want to blind it. So I got really close to it and I had my fog lights on. And as my fog lights passed this one on the left, I saw his back, like he was hunched over like this. And when I saw his back, it kind of rippled and it kind of sparkled. It was weird. It was like, later I realized that to me, it was like he was trying to cloak or something, or he was.
Oh, that's interesting.
It was really weird. It was like, and it looked like glass, I guess.
Yeah.
It's hard to describe. It's really, and I still haven't heard anybody else really describe it, so the words
we know
are hard
people.
to find.
We know people that do it. It's like it went into a predator mode. You ever see the movie Predator?
Other
like
people,
that.
yeah.
They
Other
call it
people.
shimmering,
right? Shimmering, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what it did. And so I was just like, wow, this is awesome. And my windows are rolled down and I'm like, really locked on it. And he's looking right at me. And I just rolled by. And when I got all the way past him, I was only going about 5 miles an hour, if that, because I was creeping. And so when I got past him, I looked in my rearview mirror. I could not find him. I couldn't see him. I couldn't see their eyes, nothing. I was like, wow. So I went home and I thought about it for a while. I was like, it couldn't have been an owl. I just, all these things kept going through my head. And so I came back the next day because I told Eric I'd be back at 6 o'clock in the morning. So I came back at 6 o'clock in the morning and I looked, and where the one was behind the tree, there's like a little ditch there. And then the one where his head was on the side of the road, there's like a 4.5 foot deep ditch there. So he was crouched down, kind of bent over. And I decided that I was going to go into that campground and look at they have these big garbage bins. And I was going to look around the garbage bins because I thought, well, maybe they're in there like foraging through the garbage and stuff. And lo and behold, there were prints by the garbage bins.
No way.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Yep. And then after that, I started going to the other campgrounds up 20 up the highway. And lo and behold, there's prints all over around all the garbage bins up there. They go dumpster diving.
Wow. That's wild.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it makes me think he was maybe trying to hide from you because maybe he heard your car and he's ducked down like in the ditch line. He was just waiting and watching.
You know what? I'm pretty sure that they were crossing the road and I caught them crossing the road because she was looking
Wow.
behind her. Like she thought, and I call her she, it just comes naturally. I don't know why, but she was looking behind her. Like maybe she had a little one behind her or something, you know?
Oh. Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So I definitely caught them crossing the road. I think she was getting ready to cross the road and they heard me come in and they stopped.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy. I know. Yep.
Now, back to the red eyes, because so many people have described bioluminescent. They glow on their own red.
Yep.
I have never in my years encountered that, but I know lots of people that have.
Mm-hmm.
I only get like reflections when like through the lights that reflect back, and it's always a yellow.
Really? Yeah. My friend Barb, she always sees yellow too. She's got lots of pictures of them too, where they're yellow. I have talked to some of my indigenous friends, and they've said that, well, maybe because it was red, it was Dogman. But I don't know that much about Dogman, so I wouldn't know, you know.
It's funny you say that. I was just wondering. I was like, well, what if it was a Dogman? But I've also heard of people describe seeing green eye shine, like
that
different
too.
colors. So maybe, they just shine differently sometimes. I know that some animals shine yellow, some shine red, some shine, green.
Green.
So I don't know. Maybe they just depending on their eyes. But you said they almost seemed like they were self-illuminated rather than reflective.
Yeah, they totally were. It was not eye shine. They were glowing.
Yeah.
But I did notice that they didn't emit, like the only light that they emitted was around their eyes. It wasn't like a flashlight or a laser or anything like that. It was just right around their eyes.
Right. That's just so cool. And when you're out looking for Bigfoot, you have come across some pretty amazing prints. Like seems like you seem to come across this stuff really well. So I have some pictures. I really like to show some of them because you have some great pictures of prints here.
Thanks.
And tree structures.
I'm pretty sure I was a tracker in a past life or something.
Yeah. So you have a print there. So do you kind of all go to the same area when you're looking for prints? When you're researching Bigfoot alone?
Yeah.
Like, do you go different areas? Do you kind of stick to one area?
I have about 6 research sites in my research area, which covers a pretty large portion of the Central Cascades, but they're really close to my house. I mean, they're about an hour and a half at most from my house, maybe 2, I guess. But so I found a habitat, and a lot of the evidence that I get now is from the habitat area. So yeah,
that is interesting. So can you tell us a little bit about this? Because it looks like there's maybe some moss. Is it pressed in or is it pulled away?
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I think it might be pressed in or something, or like pressed off to the side just because they're so heavy. But it's an old logging road, and it's asphalt, and it gets this real beautiful cover of moss on it every spring. And I had went up there earlier this year, and me and Tammy had seen it. It was beautiful. It was pristine. It was just untouched. And I went up there. I took one of my friends up there 2 weeks later, and there was like 50 prints. And there was elk prints, and there was a spot where it looked like there was a takedown, and then they all walked off single file, and the elk prints disappeared.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I think
that's interesting.
I'm pretty sure it was a kill site. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's very interesting.
Yeah, but they were so during that time, though, I wanted to mention that it had been raining a lot because it was in May. And so it's rain. I think it was in May. It was in the spring. So it was raining a lot. And when they were running, some of the prints, because the biggest one that I found was 18 inches. There was several that was 18 inches. And between the left and right print, there was an 11 or a 10-foot stride between those two 18-inch prints. But not only, so he must have been booking it. And then not only that, but on some of the prints, there was like a 28 to 32 inch slide where it looked like he slid into it and then his foot came down, because that road is on a very slight decline, not incline, but it was going just a little bit down. That's one of the 18-inch prints. That thing was, and that has a slide on it too. So that's part of the slide and the foot.
Wow. And is this looks like it might, what is this here?
Looks like it tried to stop and its toes ripped up the moss.
You got it. Yep. We went through there. And the cool thing about that too, Chad, is that if you stick your fingers underneath that moss right there, you can feel every single toe.
Yeah,
you can count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It looks like a right foot. It looks like it tried to stop and it slid a little bit. And
and then it also looks like, if you look, like his big toe got caught on the moss when he kept walking, and he pulled up the moss a little bit there too. Yeah.
Wow. And you have also, I'm saving the best for last, but I want to show some of these. Well, what I think is the best for last. Other people might beg to differ, but I just think these others are so cool. So I want to show your stick structures, because you have found some amazing stick structures. So there's one there.
Yeah, that's an old one. You can tell it's got like moss on it and stuff and lichen, but yeah, that's an asterisk straight up.
Yeah, that's really cool. And then you got some here, some bigger trees.
I've got a story about that one, Gwendolyn. So that's at the kill site, and we were going down there, and I had found a spot where I was doing some gifting. And then, so we decided we were going to take a trail cam down there, and me and Eric went back. Eric put the trail cam up on a tree, and the tree put it on kind of slanted over the path a little bit. So it was taking pictures kind of, facing down, and you can see Eric walks out of the view of the trail cam, and the trail cam moved, and it moved up so that you couldn't see the trail anymore. But the gravity would have said it should have moved down, but it didn't. It moved up. So anyways, we came back a couple weeks later to get the trail cam, and I found that X. And I was like, I don't think that they were happy about us putting the trail cam there.
Typically, trail cameras don't work.
Right. Yeah.
I'm realizing that now.
It's like they know that they're there. So Minnesota Bigfoot researcher, aka Abe, said that this one's really cool. He really liked that one, and he is he's quite the researcher himself.
Oh, cool. Thanks.
And then you have one here.
Yeah, I like that one because it looks like it was just there, and it's not big, it's small, and it was made with sticks, but it looked like something to me. And the more I started looking around, I realized there was prints, and there's also there's so much foliage between the trail that I was on and that structure that I don't believe a human would waste his time just to walk up this hill and through this foliage to make a stick structure that. You know what I mean?
Very cool.
Yeah, it's almost like a glyph, right?
Yeah, and there's so much going on there. Mm-hmm. Like it definitely, you can tell that it's not, something that felt naturally. And Abe says that TP structure, that was very cool. And he's also done documentation on those. So yeah, that's awesome. Got a lot of, he's come across quite a few as well. Here's a really cool one there. It's almost like they're balancing.
Yeah. And that was really close to that one that we just looked at, that TP structure or glyph. And this is, again, behind a whole line of berry bushes, that you wouldn't really necessarily want to walk through to get to that, and prints.
Right.
Yeah.
That one's really cool. And that one looks like it might be a little older as well because
Yep.
of how it looks like a lot of that wood is rotted.
Yes. Yeah.
Is it really tiny? So, oh yeah, that one's a
Oh, I
good
like
one.
this.
That one's
Yeah.
actually pretty big, I think. The two trees that are laying over the top of it are, oh my God, they must have been so heavy. Because I think I figured out that each square foot of that would have weighed like 25 to 35 pounds. So those particular trees would have been very, very heavy.
And it almost
mean-
looks like a little opening in there for
Mhm.
them to hide their young temporarily and stuff.
Also very cool that you would say that, because we thought it looked like a nursery or something.
Mm-hmm.
We see those a
Interesting.
lot up there. I think there might be a lot of juveniles up there because we see areas like that everywhere.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That is neat. And it looks like the sticks are pretty shredded up, like ripped apart, shredded,
Yeah,
broken.
they
Like
do,
that.
don't they?
Yeah, it almost seems like it was like hastily made. It was like a
Mhm.
rushed situation. That's really cool. I like that one.
Yeah.
I think it's the first one I've seen like that.
Yeah, it's odd. It's so weird. It's
It's
odd.
very different. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then this here, maybe like a bedding area.
No, actually, those are circles. Do you see the blue circles there?
Oh,
That's what I was.
okay.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to outline. I think it's a portal.
Well, people can see it on, if you watch the view that's vertical, you can see it there. Sometimes because the picture, the way it's picked up, it cuts
Mhm.
some of it off because it's 16:9. But you do have a zoomed in view of it, right?
Yep.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it. So that's the first one. And I realize it could be lens flare, but it makes sense if you look at the other one that I sent to.
This one is
That one.
crazy.
Right? It's directly across from the other one. And it looks like we've seen these black, like, I don't know what they are, black shadow people in the forest. I've seen them, 3 of them. And that's what they look like. When I took that, or I didn't take the picture, one of my research partners took the picture, but when they showed me that picture, I was like, that's what I saw. But
That's
only
wild.
in this, it looks like he's coming out of a portal or something. So
That's what I was gonna say. It's very portal-esque. Like it seems like there's like a circular motion maybe going on.
a
And
ripple.
yeah, and I've only ever seen one picture kind of, yeah, it's like rippled. And I've
Mhm.
only ever seen one picture kind of like this. And to me, it's like yours and the other one is the first real, to me, proof of a portal caught on camera. I mean, that is just a
Yeah.
really, really awesome, awesome picture. I love
I
that.
agree. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have a video as well. I wish I could just keep this up. Like I just love that picture so much.
Yeah.
But you have a video as well, and can you kind of describe before we play it what's going on in that video?
Is it the video or the audio?
Oh, it might be here. Let me see.
Okay, so here's the structure. And this is the beginning of it. And these are woven into between the limbs.
That's the one that stood out.
Broken.
Like I was just telling her.
There's some bark off the tree.
Oh, I bet. It's just very unusual how it's there.
Some more bark off of that tree.
That is something.
Shit tons
Yeah.
of those out here.
I see a lot of good camping spots.
There's shit tons of those too.
So I really like when people, and if you want to talk, you can unmute yourself right on the right hand corner of your picture there. I love when people take videos like this. because it really gives you a full 360 view
This
of
is
how
where it
this structure
crosses
happened.
Going back up,
over.
and I was sitting there yapping, you know,
That
'cause
pollen.
I'm-
Yeah, we found this at Panther Creek in Washington. We had a research site up at Mount St. Helens last summer, in 2024,
Okay.
and it's when you walk away from it's huge, but it's just an X. It's a barrier. Like, don't come in here.
This is the strangest thing.
I've heard a lot of people talk about those X's being
So there's
intended as a barrier
broken. Here's
to
one of
keep
the broken.
something or anything or anybody
It's
from
broken right
walking
there.
through there.
Like there's the tree. So this one,
Yeah.
That's your mother?
but this one is not. Oh, I see where this one is broken from. Way up there. See this?
Yeah.
It's broken from right there. So I'm
It
thinking
broke from way
when
up
this
there,
one
but
came down,
it's
it broke
interwoven.
that
It-
one.
Exactly.
And they caught up together and they fell. That's what happened.
But it's so interwoven with everything else. That's what's wild.
That's what I had a discussion with one of my research partners after that, and I was like, no, I'm pretty sure it fell like that. And he's like, no, go back and watch the video and look at what you recorded.
Yeah.
So I had to go back, and I was like, wow.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And a lot of people believe that they're like, don't go here. Like it's a barrier. But I mean, I walked past them and walked through there and kind of went beyond there. Cause to me, I'm like, I don't know which side of what I'm not supposed to cross I came up on. I don't know if I already went through it, if it's in front of me. And nothing bad's ever really happened. Like nothing, we've not had rocks thrown at us. We've not experienced any kind of chaotic activity. So
Yeah,
it makes me think maybe it's, there's maybe tribes or neighborhoods, and that's assigned to each other.
That's what I was thinking too. I was thinking the same thing. Like, this is our area. This is our territory, like, just like you said, like a wall to a house,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
really interesting.
We often wonder, because a lot of people say the X means for us to keep out.
hmm
But how would a Bigfoot think that we would understand that's what it means? So the other part of the people think their markers are for them. X might mean danger for them, because when I find X's, they're typically close to like roads, trails, houses, and things like that.
Yeah.
And so, like more road signs for them.
hmm
Oh, their markers must mean something. Their other markers, because we
Yeah.
found some incredible ones, in our years.
Yeah, like that X, that the one that I showed you that was at one of our gifting sites. I actually, an indigenous friend had mentioned that X means exchange. And so I thought, well, just right before I left to come down here to Louisiana, I went up to that exact spot and I left them pumpkins and apples and like just a whole bunch of cool Christmas stuff. And I decorated a tree for them. And I was like, I'll be back in spring, So.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's a kind of a cool idea. I mean, it's all theory. Nobody really knows. But at the same time, the X meaning exchange seems like a very humanistic sort of perspective because, X exchange, that's all our ideas. So it's kind of cool to try it out though. I mean, it's it's worth trying. Everything's
Absolutely.
worth trying.
I'm all about experimenting. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. So have you had a really intense Bigfoot experience? I mean, you've talked about a couple really cool ones, but have you ever had ones where like it's made you fearful or an complete awe beyond what you have already told us about?
Absolutely. So it was in July, and I decided to take up a really good friend of mine who does research up in Washington, and he's pretty well known in the community, and he's reputable, and I trusted him. And because I don't take random strangers up there, you know. So I decided that I was going to take him up there, and he was going to do some filming and whatnot. And he had a drone and stuff. So we went up and we set up camp, and it was just him and I. Usually it's me and Eric and, you know, maybe a couple of other gentlemen, actually. Because none of the other girls like to camp. So I'm usually the only girl up there. But anyways, so it was just me and him. And as soon as it got dark, like at dusk, and then it just got a little bit darker, we started hearing like this grunting noise up on the hill. And this is at our main site, my main campsite at 3,500 feet. And so there's a little hill in front of us. Where our campsite is on the ledge. And then there's the trail in between us and the hill. So the hill is in front of us, and we're hearing this grunting noise happening up there. And it was quite intimidating. But the intimidating thing about it was that we would hear it, and then we would hear it kind of walk away and grunt again. And then we'd hear it walk back towards us and grunt. And it did that like all night long until I woke up the next morning. So that was really frightening. I think probably more for me, but that morning we were on guard all night, and then we just decided to go to bed, and both of us car camped. So he had his car, I had my car, and we were good. As soon as we shut the door and lock it, we're good. So that morning I woke up at 5:00 in the morning, and I opened up my hatch, and I came out, and I shut the hatch, and I kind of cleared my throat. And then I heard it again, and I was like, "You're still here?"
Wow.
So I got in my front seat, and I sat in my car until my friend woke up, because I was just like freaking out.
Did you leave him in the tent?
Oh, no, he had his car and I had mine.
Oh, okay.
So I slept in my car and he slept in his car.
Okay.
So I couldn't hear anything in my car, but so I got in my car and I waited for him to wake up before I came out, and then I told him what had happened, and he's like, he couldn't believe it either, that it had stayed all night long. Because if it was a bear, typically when they smell humans, or even when they smell gasoline or oil from a car, they'll leave the area. They're not ones to stick around. Even if they have cubs, they're going to herd their cubs out of there, So we went back and forth for a long time. Like, I'm like, no, it was a Sasquatch. And he's like, no, I think it was a bear. But I think we both come to the conclusion now that we think it was a Sasquatch. And honestly, I believe that he was upset because I was there with a stranger and I didn't have any of my other research team with me. And maybe he was worried, like he was worried about me, because he stayed until I woke up. And as soon as I woke up and he grunted that last time, that was the last time we heard him at all. It was like he just left.
That's interesting. And is he the type of researcher that's like, will push the boundaries and try to get like a very aggressive sort of response?
No.
Because I was just wondering, because I've noticed that people who do that sort of like stuff when they're out in the field, they get more negative reactions back. So that's why I was just curious if
he's just normal. He's a normal guy. He's a good researcher. He's not aggressive at all. And I don't really like to hang out with those kinds of people or do research with them. So I wouldn't allow that, especially at my site. One thing different though is that he did have a gun. Not for hunting or anything. It was for cougars. Because the cougars up there, they're huge, so I
do feel better when there's somebody with me that has a gun, or if I have some form of protection, because it's not the Bigfoot I'm afraid of, it's the
Right.
other wildlife. It's like the
Yeah.
wildlife in the area. So
Humans.
yeah,
Mhm.
other humans too. You know what I mean. We being female, you get a little bit more nervous than probably guys do out in the woods, but especially by yourself. So
Totally.
yeah.
Yeah. That's
Hawk
why I like
Soaring
to camp
says,
with the guys, because the guys make me feel safe.
right, yeah, exactly,
Mhm.
exactly. I went real fast. Hawk Soaring said that they like to attach themselves to women.
Mhm.
And
That
children.
too.
And
Yeah, and
children.
children.
I
Yeah.
have a story about that. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Let's hear it. I'm excited.
Okay, so me and Eric and Tim were up there, my research partners, and we were looking at a ledge where we were seeing eye shine and stuff. It was like blue and yellow eye shine. And Eric saw one. He saw a Sasquatch, and I didn't see it, but I think I might have saw like the tail end of it move into the woods, because he was like, look, there's something up there. So I looked over and I thought I may have caught it. But Eric was, he's just like, what was that? So him and Tim got their flashlights and they started going down the road, and they were going to go around the curve to the back side of that ridge to see if there was a path that you could walk up. And it was pitch dark and you couldn't see your hand in front of your face. Like, that's just how dark it gets out there in the Cascades.
Yeah.
So they're walking away, and I said, just before they went around the curve, I said, don't leave me out here by myself in the dark. And Eric's like, we'll be right back. So so they went around that curve, and as soon as Eric's flashlight went out of view and you couldn't see the light anymore, I heard 4 footsteps behind me. It was like boom, 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 and I screamed because
wow.
it startled me. The first time it's ever happened to me, of course I'm going to be scared. So
Yeah.
I screamed and I said, Eric, and I got in my car and I slammed the door, and my windows are down, and they're electric, so I can't, my car's not running, I can't roll them up. And so I'm like, he's right behind me, Eric, he's right behind me. And Eric and Tim come around there, and they go back, and they look, it was about 20 feet behind me, and they went back. They looked with their flashlights. They couldn't see anything because, it's pitch dark. It's in the middle of the night. So we went back out there the next day or the day after that. And I took my other research partner because he's very athletic. Like, he can get up and down those hills really well. And he went down the slope, and you could see there's 4 footprints there.
Oh, wow.
And then check this out. There's a big rock there that you can sit on, and it had moss all over it. And there's a big butt print in the moss.
Oh, that's so cool.
And if you sat on the moss, you were eye level with the road. You could see it was a perfect line to my car where I was standing. So it was like he was sitting there watching me. And the minute that Eric and Tim went out of the way, he just started coming up the hill like he was coming to say hi. I was like, oh my God. Oh my God.
Wild. I was wild.
Yeah.
And I can like see the excitement and fear in your eyes as you're telling it.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Did you?
Looking back now, do you almost wish that you just waited a little longer and didn't scream?
Nope.
No?
No. I get really, you can see I'm starting to get a rash.
Yeah.
I get really nervous in the dark. It's the dark. It's just not being able to see,
I know that feeling. I am a ghost researcher, a Bigfoot researcher, and a researcher of all things mysterious and weird. And I'm still scared of the dark.
Yeah, I know, right? It's crazy, but it is what it is. What can you do? Just be honest about it.
I think it comes naturally to people who have had intense experiences in their life because they're always on guard, and they want to see what's coming at them.
Yeah, totally.
Chad,
totally.
Are you afraid of the dark?
I am.
If I'm alone walking through the woods and I'm totally alone and it's in the middle of the woods, sometimes I get this feeling that's really uncomfortable, and but most of the time I don't get that feeling. But when I do, yeah, I would say it's fear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm
scared.
actually working with a shaman right now who's trying to help me get over that fear of the dark. So
Yeah. If I'm with people, I'm fearless. And if it's daylight, I'm fearless by myself. But
yeah,
let the dark come in, and I'm like, don't leave me by myself.
that's a whole
You
nother
know,
story.
like
Yeah.
super, yeah. Just because I've had so many terrifying experiences with ghosts growing up that
Right.
I hate the dark.
You know, the funny thing, Gwendolyn, is that if it was in a haunted house, it wouldn't bother me at all.
Oh,
You know, it's the forest. It's like
I'm
the
opposite.
really.
That's
Oh,
funny.
wow. Yeah, that's hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah. Dark time in the woods, I'm much more brave. Like I'm almost hardly affected just because oftentimes you get the moonlight and everything. But
Yeah.
if it's in the house, oh my gosh, do not turn I sleep with the light on.
Yeah. I have several night. Actually, I had 5 night lights, and now I'm down to 3. So
Yeah. Yeah. Good for you. You're getting
yeah,
there.
that's an
Yeah.
accomplishment. Yeah.
Yes. Hawk Soaring said, I have had them move and stomp when I was getting up to go to the restroom at night while camping. And I was like, nope, I'll hold it till it gets light out.
Yep.
Yep. That's
Yep.
awesome. Well,
Yeah.
you have a lot of really cool stuff. So can people find this stuff? Can they find it on your Facebook
Mhm.
page?
Yeah, totally. So on the Sweet Home Oregon Sasquatch Research Group page is on Facebook. I post all of my particular research in the featured section. So when you go in there, you don't have to scroll through everything. You just go to the featured section and then you'll see everything that all the evidence that we've gotten.
Okay,
Sweet Home
I'll
Oregon
post it.
Research on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, because I want to make sure that people can see that, and we'll even try to post it in the comments after the show because that's really cool. Because that portal picture's on there.
I know, right?
All right, I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna look at that portal picture. I'm gonna zoom in and we'll try to see if I can sharpen it up. I'll send you whatever I get out of it so you can kind of see what's sharpened up and zoomed in and stuff like that. Because I like to play around with pictures like that.
Yeah,
Research
totally.
or research group?
Research group. Yeah, Sweet Home Oregon Sasquatch Research Group.
Means I'll have to fix this research group.
Mm-hmm.
What are you over there stomping on the keys for, Chad?
I typed it. I already did it.
Oh, well, so did I.
No, yours hasn't came through. I'm sure you used capital on Oregon, and I didn't use capital.
There you go. Beat
Awesome.
you to it.
There you go.
So definitely check Chelly Heaton out on Facebook, Sweet Home Oregon Sasquatch Research Group. I definitely will be on there. I'll be looking at more of your pictures and stuff because you clearly get out in the field a lot. So I'm really excited to see what else you have on your Facebook page.
Thank you. Thanks.
Yes, thank you for coming on. And, I'd like to have you back on again. We didn't really get to talk about your Reiki and when that all kind of started for you. So we'd love to have you back on again. And, you'll probably have more stories for us as well. In the meantime.
Absolutely. Yep,
Yes.
totally. We still need to talk about that ghost picture.
Oh, yeah. Do you want to do that real fast? Do you want to do that now?
I can. Yeah. Do you have the
All right.
picture?
Let me see if I got it. I'm going to look real fast.
Okay.
I do have it. I do. I don't know how I missed it. Right here, right? Let me minimize us here.
Oh, that's one of them. But yeah, that one I took there you go. Yep. Do you want to do this one?
Real fast?
Okay,
Yeah.
so this I took in the Washoe Club at the crypt. The Washoe Club is in Virginia City, Nevada, and it's an old west town. It's an old mining town, and there's a crypt. They used to keep bodies there in the wintertime because you can't bury them because the the ground is too hard. So anyways, you go in there, and we were just standing there, and we felt a really cold breeze, and I was like, something's in here. And the minute I said that, my daughter and my ex, her father, and then his father, they all were like, okay, no. We didn't want to have anything to do with it. But I turned around and I was taking pictures. I turned around and took that picture of them as I said it, kind of. And that was the picture that I got. Like, they're just
wild.
Completely distorted, right?
Yeah, almost like you take the picture through something at them. Almost.
Exactly. It's so strange. Yeah. So that's why I liked that picture.
That's really cool. And then you have this one.
Yeah, this one. So if you look in the reflective kind of area there, it looks like an African-American man.
Yeah, right? I see it.
Okay, so that was in the dungeon at the market in Charleston, South Carolina. And we had, in order to get into this dungeon underneath one of the city buildings, we had to buy this ghost tour, So we went on the ghost tour, and we were in the back of the dungeon, and I felt something blow in my ear, and then it brushed across my face, and my hair flew up like that. And my ex-husband saw it. And when he saw my hair go up, he was like, instantly, what's going on? And I'm like, oh my God, did you feel that? Everybody in the group turned around. And as everyone turned around, they have these areas that are kind of cordoned off with these really big chains, and the chain links on them, they're iron chains that came off the ships that came over from Africa.
Oh, wow.
And so the links are really big, and they weigh like 30 pounds a piece. They're super heavy. So these chains are sectioning off these cordoned off areas. This chain just started rocking back and forth, just as like somebody just gave it a real good push. And so my ex-husband ran over to it, and he stopped it. He let go of it. And the minute he let go of it, it just started doing it again. Just from a stop, just started doing it. And so we were freaking out, and I'm taking pictures and everything. And the tour guide goes, oh, that's our cue to leave. And so she turned around and started walking out, and everybody else is like rushing out behind her. And I'm like, wait, isn't this what we paid for?
Right.
So I ran out. I was walking behind him as slow as I possibly could, but still trying to stay with him. And I'm taking pictures. And this is one of the pictures that I took. And it's just
awesome.
I don't even know where it came from. Like, I don't understand it. But I know what I see, and I see an African-American man, and I think that might have been the dude that was blowing in my ear,
Yeah, and moving the chain back and forth.
Exactly. So that's why I love that picture. Yeah.
That's awesome. I've messed up the view. Hold on. There we go. Fixed it. Wow, that's wild. I wish that do you have any like before you took the shot and then after, like during the shot, or
no,
just that one angle?
Maybe, but none of them looked like not at that angle. Because when I was taken, of the same room or the same area, but not at that angle. Because I was just taking my camera and just trying to get as many pictures as I could before we walked out of the building,
Yeah, they were kind of rushing you out. Yeah.
They were. And I even told them afterwards too. I said, you guys, this is a ghost tour. Like, you don't do that.
Yeah. It makes me think that she's probably been spooked there before and wanted to get out of there.
Totally. And that was the crypt. So that was where they used to keep pirates and thieves and other people that they didn't want walking around on the street,
Right. Yeah. Wow. That's really cool. I'm glad you pointed that picture out before we ended the show, because that was really cool. And I didn't scroll down far enough. That's why I left that one out. So I'm glad you called me out on that, because I love that picture.
Pretty epic.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, both of them really. Yeah, because that other one, it looks like you're taking a picture of them through something, really cool.
Yeah. Yeah,
There's always
totally
some things in
destroyed. Like
front of
they're in
it.
another dimension or something, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Right. But Shelly, it's been a pleasure, and I hope to have you on again. Bring all of your stuff next time you come on, and we'll share it again and go over it.
Mhm.
And you keep going out there and researching. You just have such a bright smile, and you bring such a bright, pleasant atmosphere to the show. So I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. Really. Thank
Absolutely.
you.
Hang out afterwards, and we'll chat for a few minutes before we let you go.
Okay.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.